Yo, Gazmas here with another Grand Archive video. In this video I'm going to talk about the Turbo Rye list I took to Good Games Greensboro Store Championship and won. Went 4-0 with it. On the day I actually went 8-0 with it, so yeah, won every round 2-0. Here is my Nationals qualifier card for that I won today running this deck, and I thought I'll try get this video out as soon as possible because I know there's a few more store championships coming out. There's regionals, a few regionals coming up. Some have already been played, so I thought I'll go over the list. The list is pretty straightforward, but I'll just talk a bit about the intricacies of how I play it, how I pile it, and hopefully people out there can give it a go at their store champs, at their regionals, and have some success with it. So I'll start off with the material board, and it's pretty stock standard. You're obviously playing Stormseer Rye, Nullifying Lantern. This I feel is kind of needed into any of the erupting list or any list that you're scared about rending flames. This sort of Turbo Rye list can win. If you're going first, your opponent really gets 3 turns. If you're going second, your opponent gets 4 turns. So Nullifying Lantern helps slow them down. And also if you have a slower hand into those decks, it's kind of better to get this Nullifying Lantern out. Chalice of Blood is in there if your opponents give it to you. If they put you to plus 20 health, you get that extra card. I like it. Orb of Regret is kind of when you're at Rye level 3. So you've got your hand, but you just don't have what you need. I don't like doing this early. If you don't have a good hand, turn 1, turn 2, and then you want to Orb of Regret, you're just too far behind. I prefer to go for Grand Crusader Ring and look for an out like that. Slowing down and not getting anything is a bit of a dead play. Storm Tyrant's Eye is just another GCR, but with upside. Because you do a lot of scrying in this deck, you can set this up where Storm Tyrant's Eye can also help you. If you can take the damage, you can kind of like filter a few more cards with Storm Tyrant's Eye. I like playing Tome of Knowledge and Tome of Sacred Lightning. There's a bit of floating memory in here, so sometimes you can get Tome of Knowledge out. It's not absolute must be. Not really playing that much material, to be honest. You might be playing 2 additional material outside of your champions in this deck, and it's kind of situational. Crystal of Empowerment, it's great if you weren't able to banish levels on those games where you've kind of like used floating memory to level up. Crystal Empowerment helps you get to that level 8 point, which is where like Rise want to be, where careful studies cost nothing. And Grand Crusader Ring, which is just your GCR, which is in every deck. In terms of the actual deck, 4 dungeon guides. I've floated around with like 3 dungeon guides, but you kind of need to see it in some matchups, so just run 4. All the cards in this list run 4. There's not much to it except the sideboard. The sideboard is where I get a little bit cute. 4 Careful Studies, 4 Parental Manners, 4 Scry the Skies, 4 Idle Thoughts, 4 Arcane Blast, 4 Disposition, 4 Arcane Sights, 4 Creative Shock, 4 Ignite the Soul, 4 Fireballs, 4 Erratic Bolts, 4 Increasing Dangers, which is this is probably the hardest card to play, when to judge when to play this card, which I'll go over soon. 4 Power Overwhelming and 4 Reckless. Sideboard, 3 Deflecting Edge. I'll bring these into Fire Lorraines, anywhere I'm worried about rending. I bring these in. Spell Shields come in for Rye matches, and sometimes I actually bring these into for if I'm those aggro Xanders or aggro Fire Lorraines. Also Spurn to Ash comes into that just to get rid of Poison Dagger, because Poison Dagger allows them to kill you way too consistently. I have 1 Varuk in there that's like just being cute for those win matches, and sometimes in the Rye mirrors. I don't know, it's probably not good. I just like having it in there. In terms of playing this and what I take out, I usually take out Increasing Danger, depending on, I don't like playing Increasing Danger if I'm going second, so I kind of take that out and put in what I need. In terms of playing this deck, there's no simple answer on what arcane cards you can banish early. It kind of depends what you can see. in hand and what turn you really are trying to kill your opponent on. What I tend to do, if I have an arcane disposition and a reckless, and I know I'm going to have them in hand, I'll try prioritize keeping them together, just because that can kind of get your big turn going. But if you have arcane sights, or like, they're nice cards to have, but they're good cards to banish as well. Don't be afraid to banish Arcane Blast and Erratic Bolt. It's far more, it's better to just keep cards that draw cards, so you're not afraid to banish these cards early. Power Overwhelming just allows you to see so many lines. I won a game today where I Power Overwhelming twice in one turn to get past Veiling Breeze, double Veiling Breeze that was protecting for 10. So it's a great card to have to allow that. But then also won a game where kept I think I had 5 or 6 enlightenment counters, only had like 5 or 6 cards in hand. Power Overwhelming, Fireball, Arcane Blast. Because Power Overwhelming just allows you to turn a 5-card hand or 6-card hand, as long as you have those counters that you haven't popped from the turn before, into 20, 22, 23 damage. Where this deck struggles is Wind Lorraine list, if they can establish a board. As you can see, there's not a lot of ways to deal with a board. So don't be afraid to Fireball to kill a unit. Obviously prioritizing Phalanx Captains or Banner Knights, but some Wind Lorraine players will know that if when they're playing Rye, their best bet is to put a card, so they'll throw a Banner Knight turn 1 down and just say you deal with it, or Phalanx Captain. And it's very hard for this list to kill those units, and you're kind of just betting that they're not going to just have that perfect ally curve as efficiently as you can kill them. And that's how you're playing this deck. This deck is just trying to kill them efficiently and not allowing your opponent. The aggro Xander decks are probably the hardest matchup for this, hence why you put around the Deflecting Edges and Spurn to Ash. Spurn to Ash sometimes buys you a turn, but Deflecting Edge, especially if they're going up on a big rending play, in those matchups you're just playing for lethal, and that's where like your Arcane Blast and your Power Overwhelming come into consideration, because they usually don't go above level 1. So if I just go over quickly my matchups for today and how I went about it. Round 1, played into a Fire Lorraine, went first game 1, just played the standard, got to Arcane quicker, and then got the damage in. Game 2, I was Arcane, couldn't kill him. I played Idle Thoughts, stacked my top of my deck. I stacked a Spell Shield on top, and then I saw 2 Deflectings. I bottomed 1, but then I put 1 underneath the Spell Shield, just because the opponent had 10 cards, so I was just scared if they could get past the Spell Shield and then still present damage. They were playing Spirit's Blessing, so which Fire and Soul list I didn't expect, but I'm grateful that I did put the Deflecting, because that Deflecting Edge allowed me to stay alive. So when you're scrying and setting up the top of your deck, you really need to be paying attention to the game state and how you feel, and that's just a lot of reps. This deck seems pretty linear and pretty straightforward, but a lot of it is understanding your opponent's decks. Game 2 versus a hybrid Fire Lorraine Erupting list. To be fair, I high rolled, not high rolled, but game 1 and game 2 I just played into the arcane dispositions. I hadn't seen any recklesses, so I just knew that I'd see them and I was going to cycle 5 or 6 cards and then with a scry. So sometimes in games like that you have to just play, if you don't have lethal in your hand, you have to dig for it, you have to go for it. This game at the moment, until FTC comes out, especially in these next couple of weeks, and then FTC is out, you don't have the luxury of slowing your opponent down with the current card pool. So it's better to dig and high roll than take a turn and expect them not to be able to give you lethal, especially if you don't have any way, no damage prevention. If you have damage prevention, you have to calculate the maximum they can do and if it's worth it. If not, you have to play for lethal. And in this deck, sometimes it's putting that fireball down, putting that arcane blast down, and playing disposition and seeing what you hit off the top. Not every time. Sometimes you don't have the hands, or you're getting too much pressure where you don't get to explore the top of your deck and you're just playing off the top. You're having plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh moments in this deck where you're just like trying to hit that card off the top. One of those things. Game 3, Win Lorraine's. Game 1, they were able to veiling for 10, but I had a considerable hand size, so I was able to peer into mana, power overwhelming, get to like level 16, 17, whatever it was, play another peer into mana, power overwhelming again, and just like coming for like one big fireball and one big erratic bolt. So that's where the power overwhelmings are good. And you don't play power overwhelming in every game, but like 4 of them they have grown on me. I used to probably only like run 2, and like after today running 4, the card is if played correctly is bonkers. And then game 4 played into Fire Lorraine for the final, and just opponent was playing Fire Lorraine. They didn't see the Ascensions, and if they're not seeing their Ascension, they just no chance against me. Like when I went first, turn 4, I'm going for the kill, and then even on the next game, because I saw the dungeon guides, I'm presenting lethal again on my turn 3, just because the cards lined up. If you are going to play this deck, it's all gas, no breaks. Setting up the top of your hand is crucial. What cards you banish, what level you're going to be at. It is a lot of reps. This deck does help because you can goldfish, but you're most rewarded for knowing how much damage your opponent can present, because then that kind of helps you determine if you can take a turn off or not, and then guarantee lethal instead of just high rolling. I had heaps of fun playing this deck, and I hope everyone that tries it, good luck with the store champs and regionals. Do I think I'll be playing this I think I've only got 1 more store champs I'm playing in, or regionals. Maybe I might change some cards. If I was to change anything, maybe another spell shield, maybe get rid of Varuk altogether. Feels like I'm probably being a bit too cute in my sideboard. So I might tweak with some of the ratios. I just wanted something that was like pretty simple. I played a more mid-range try last week, and it just felt like it was a bit too inconsistent. So I just wanted a deck that was just doing what I wanted it to do, and that's this list. The list will be in the description below. If you have any questions about it, put them in the comments or reach out to me on the Discord. I'm trying to get this video out the same night that I won the store champs with, but we'll see how we go. Other than that, cheers.